Hello and welcome back to this course. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the initialization block. Initialization block are executed whenever the class is initialized and before constructor are invoked. They are typically placed above the constructors within braces. It is not all necessary to include them in your classes. Now initialization block is used to initialize the instance variables in the class. You can also initialize the static variables of the class using the static initialization block. And it is just like the constructor, but initialization block is called just before the constructor when we create object of that class. So let's create our program about the initialization block to have a better understanding that how this works. So first of all, here I'm going to create a class with the name, you can say test. I type here test, and in this class I'm going to create one instance variable. So I type here int a like this, and now if I want to initialize this value, I may use the constructor or use the initialization block. For example, I create the initialization block here. I just type the curly brackets, and this is the initialization block. I type here initialization block. So this is the initialization block. I type here a is equal to 5. I have initialized my instance variable. So this is the initialization block. Okay, so we have learned that the initialization block is executed before the constructor. Okay, we also create a constructor here with the name test and type as here statement like system.out.println constructor, and I use this statement in my initialization block also. I copy this line and paste here, and I copy this from here and paste it here like this. Okay, so I am going to create the object of that class here. I type here test t equals to new test. Okay, so when I run this program, you will see the initialization block and then the constructor. First initialization block is executed, then the constructor is called in this program. So in this way the initialization block works. For example, you may have a static variable here like this. Then you have to use here the static initialization block. I type here static like this. I type the static, and then this block is called the static initialization block. When I run this program, you will see the same result. Okay, so what will happen if we have used the inheritance and we have initialization block in both of the classes? Let's create that. I create another class here, class test2 extends test. Okay, so I have a initialization block here, and here I remove the static for an instance from here like this. Okay, I'm going to create the initialization block here. First of all, I type here system.out.println constructor of child class. Okay, before that I also change here constructor of parent class and initialization block of parent class. Okay, so this is the initialization block. So I copy it from here and paste it here. Okay, now I am going to create the constructor. I type here test2, and in this block I am going to write a single statement like this. I copy this statement and paste it here and change the constructor of the child class. Okay, now I am going to create the object of the child class test2 and test2. Okay, so when I run this program, you can see the sequence. First of all, the initialization block of the parent class, constructor of the parent class, initialization block of the child class, and constructor of the child class. We know that whenever we create the object of the child class and the constructor of the child class, first of all call the constructor of its parent class. We have discussed about this thing in our super keyword. I explain it once again. When we create the object of the child class and we know that the constructor is automatically called, and before the child class constructor executes the statement here, which is called the super. When it moves toward this, it goes to the parent class and first of all executes the initialization block, then the parent class constructor, then the child class initialization block, and the child class constructor. So I hope you understand about the initialization block and how it's work. I just summarize it that the initialization block is used to initialize the variables. It may be static variables or the instance variables. We can initialize the static variables inside the static initialization block. And whenever we create the child class and the first of all the parent class initialization block is executed, then the constructor of the parent class is executed, then the initialization block of the child class is executed, and after that constructor of the child class is executed. So this is sequence in this program. I hope you understand. So that's it for this video. If you feel any problem while learning the initialization block, you can definitely ask me a question or message me. I will definitely help you. So that's it for this video. I will see you in next video.